Okay, here we go. This looks a lot better. Now I can actually see that it's connecting and the chat's up. Okay, so let's have a quick review of where things were yesterday. So yesterday we had 7 lays that were put in there, and while all 7 were correct, one of those didn't really hit our odds range. So I did say up to $60 and it went at $70, so fairly close, but not exactly value there. So we stayed away from that one, even though it would have been a correct play. So that one didn't add any dollars to the kitty. Again, remember, I'm only risking $30 here, and the last 2 weekends I've essentially made $7 on that. So remember, when laying, you need to be laying at a lot of larger odds, and you need to be risking a fair bit of money if you want to make good money. That's just the way it is. So if we were risking $3,000, which is well within the ability on Betfair for these types of races, we'd be up $710, which is a lot more worthwhile than $7. I've done a few for today and thought I'd put them up here so we can have a quick discussion of them, and then I'll go through for the next 40 minutes or so and go through a few more meetings and what horses I would choose. So let's have a quick look at Wodonga. I've got quite a few picks at Wodonga. Now, Wodonga's a heavy, and given that it's a heavy, it's going to be a little bit more biased to where the horses run, which can be a bit of a problem. But I've taken quite a few at Wodonga because there are quite a few terrible horses running there. And you can see here, I haven't gone extreme in the odds. I've gone up to 400 with one, but 150 for most of those running out at Wodonga. I also had a quick look at Ballarat. Ballarat has some really small fields today, so there wasn't much value to be had there. But I have done a couple in the early races. In race 4, I've taken 2 of them, but again, in race 4 the odds are pretty low. Race 1, there's an absolute certainty that's not even going to come in. So I'll spend the next 20-30 minutes just going through the other lays that I might find today. So I might just pick Grafton and work through Grafton on the live stream, and we can go from there and see what we can actually find. So, okay, I'm just going to close out the Ballarat and open up Grafton on Racing and Sports as well. So the 2 sites that I do use, the Tab and Racing and Sports, I do like their enhanced form. And I'm generally looking at the career dollars per start as the main factor. So jumping into Grafton, just sorting this by the Sky rating, we can see there's some pretty terrible horses in race 1. I don't really like to lay in New South Wales. There's a bit of a bias to the odds being higher because there's a fairly high turnover charge if you're backing on Betfair, so the odds tend to be a little bit higher. But let's have a bit of a look at these low ones. So number 17, it's won once out of 25, and that one win was its last run. It was on soft ground, and today we are racing on soft ground again. So probably not going to be looking too much at it. This one's only won 1 out of 47. Again, it won its last race. Again, on heavy. It hasn't ran great on heavy and soft previously, so it might be worth looking at. 11's in the odds. I'm not going to even look at that one. And 16. Let's have a look. It's running okay. Last run. Again, won once. Okay, so let's go have a quick look at where the Well, let's have a quick look at the favourites. There's a $1.80 favourite here. So there's a fairly good chance that this dual statement is going to put in a good run. And the top rater again. So there's a couple of good horses there that you'd need both to fail. At least, well, 3 horses to fail for it to be an issue. Given that they've only had a few starts and they're not running too bad. So let's just go have a look. We're looking at, maybe 15, 16, 17 as lays. And let's sort it by career starts. And 15, 16, 17 are terrible with the career starts. I can see straight away on the jockeys, we've got some below par jockeys. And again, if you look at the trainers again, prize money wise, are a bit below par. So the reason you're looking at the career starts is it kind of gives you the class of the horse. Does it actually place in any worthwhile races? Does it win any worthwhile races compared to the others? It's just an easy rating. Jockeys, on the other hand, jockeys can make a difference. They can get a horse to get a few extra lengths. So you want to keep an eye on that. And trainers is about where they actually place the horses. Do they actually want to, or are they good at placing horses into the right races to win? Okay, so I'm going to jump in. And so we've got 15, 16, and 17. And I'm pretty happy to lay all of those, given there's at least 3 horses that are good in this race. So I'm just going to add those to the sheet. 1, 15, 16, 17. And now looking at where they were, just going back and looking at the stats. These two had obviously won a race. It's 1 of 20, it's 1 of 47, and it's 1 of 25. They're not winning very often. They're all fixed odds above 100, and they're well down. I would say each of these we're looking at probably up to about 400 in max odds. So happy to go up to $400 on each of those. So that's not a bad start to finding some lays in Grafton. Add a few extra rows here because it might be a meeting we get a few. Okay, so I'm going to jump in and go to race 2 now. Okay, race 2. Okay, we've got quite a few horses in the money here, like below $10. There's only one that's out, and we've got a bunch of new starters. This one's only run once, and it came 6. Yes, it had a couple of barrier trials, but I don't really like laying anything that has only had 1 run. They tend to have a chance of improving dramatically, and nothing else there is really standing out to me that I'd want to actually lay it. Even this one with 2 runs and nothing there, I'll steer clear of race 2. Okay, race 3, fairly big field. We've got 2 big long shots. There's also a 71 in here. The favourite, let's have a quick look at it. It's only placed once out of 3 runs. What about the second favourite? It's had 1 run and didn't place. So there's not a lot of strength in this race. 12 and haven't even placed. 15 and placed 10 times. Jeez. This is a pretty poor race. And all of these horses could actually fail. So I'm kind of going to go just check down what these are. So I'm not comfortable, even if these were in some pretty bad races, I don't think I'd be comfortable laying any of these, even though they're horses that come right at the back. But let's just double check the money line career starts. Okay, 16 is pretty bad at 0.4, as is 17, and they're probably 2 of the long ones. Jockeys don't have any prize money allocated in here. And again, trainers are pretty bad. So while I don't have too much confidence in any of the horses that might go on to win, these 2 are pretty bad. So it was 16 and 17. 16 was $71. According to this, they've said will prove tough to beat. That's interesting. So I might stay away from 16. I think that comment's wrong, given they've priced it at 71. 17, though, hard to recommend. It is in weaker class. I don't know. It hasn't done much. I think I'll just stay out of this race, even given the rating. I'm just not confident in the horses that can win. Okay, going to have a quick look at race 4. So after a good few picks in race 1, we haven't had much yet. Okay, so there's quite a few long shots in this race. See if there's something that can win. Well, he's placed in at least half of his races, so 7 of the 14. For the first favourite, the second one's won 1 out of 4 and was a last start winner, so not too bad. This one's also 1 out of 11. What else have we got? 1 out of 13. Now, I'm going to be hoping that these long shots haven't won anything. 1 out of 27 has not placed in quite a while. 1 out of 24, again, hasn't placed in quite a while. Been a while since it won. 1 out of 52, geez, but it's got a few placings in here and a semi-recent win. And that one, okay, that one looks like it really just runs at the back of the field every time it goes out. Okay, so let's go have a look at race 4 on the career starts, and then we'll come back and compare. So the top few are going for $5,000 a start. So kind of wanting to look at probably only these last 3, so 10, 13 and 15. Looking at the jockeys, 13's got an okay jockey, but still pretty low in the ratings. And okay, I might skip 13 because it's got a fairly good trainer placing. If we were to sort by that, it's going to be top 3. So we're looking at 10 and 15, which are the bottom 2 anyway, and the bottom 2 for the jockeys. So 10 and 15. Coming back and having a bit of a closer look at them. 10 has won 1 out of 52. It recently ran okay at Coffs Harbour on heavy in a Class 1. I'm guessing today is going to be wet, soft. Tab's not liking its chances. Kind of distance has it been running? It's been running up around the 2,000 distance. This race again is up around that 2,000 distance. And it's a 6-year-old, so it still should be fit enough to run these distance. It hasn't had much support in any of its races. And even when it's had some support, it's been back half of the field. Okay, so 10's probably worthwhile up to, in this, probably up to about 60, 70. And the other one we had was 15. Ready and Able. Let's have a quick look. Ready and Able. This one is definitely a lay, and I'd probably go to 1,000 on that one. So 10 and 15. Let me go update those. This is race 4. So we got 10 and we got 15. And 10 I'd said we'd go up to about 70 and we'd go to 1,000 at Grafton on number 15. So let's go have another look. Race 5 now. Okay, race 5 again. This one's won 20%, so we've got some okay horses in here that are likely to at least have winning chances. Let's have a look at what our long shots are looking like. Electric Miss has won 4 times. Again, 4 times, 10%. Again, 10%. Okay, and this one's a little bit less, but again, has won 4 times. So I'm going to jump over and check the race $5. See if anything stands out. Look, even this one's number 10's up around the 2K. So I might just, while that's more than half of the top few, I might leave it. This one here down at 1.3 is pretty low though. So number 14. Jockey's pretty low, trainer's terrible. So number 14 for me would be a likely lay, and that's the longest one here. It's done nothing recently. It's priced at 151. Again, it's been running on good tracks, so this will be a run on soft. And if we have a quick look, its last win was on soft quite a few years ago. It didn't run too bad here on soft, so we'd expect it to probably be middle of the pack today. But it's run terrible since then. Better off avoiding. It's in weaker class. Couldn't go on with it. Yeah, look. Let me just check again what we're looking at here. So this one's up in class. And ran okay on heavy. This one's in equal class. Again, if I'm looking at soft, it didn't run well on soft, so not looking at much for that one. And this one's running okay on heavy. So I think we got some good runners in there for the wet ground. So I'm going to lay number 14. Again, this one probably up to about 500. Let's have a quick look at Grafton race 6. Okay, favourite. Oops, let's go Grafton race 6. Sorting it by Sky rating. Obviously, all the good horses here have been scratched. The top rating now is a 73, which is not a good rating to start with. Which probably means I want to be careful in this race. So it's got 4 of 17, 7 of 38, 7 of 33. I'll check the next two, 3 of 13 and 8 of 21. So there are some good horses there. Start looking at these longer ones. 4 of 38, 7 of 56, 5 of 29, 6 of 41 and 6 of 23. I'm not seeing anything there that really stands out to me that I would want to lay. Let's just go check if any of these wins are pretty poor wins. So you've got some really good horses here, obviously 65k, 25k. Pretty much a horse that has 4k and 2.5k. We should be able to lay even this 5.1. So we're looking at 16, 18 and 21. Again, jockeys aren't that great. You're really looking at number 1 here as the main contender by the looks of it. Got a good jockey, good trainer. Yeah, these three, 16, 18 and 21. Let's just go have a bit closer look at those. So 21, he's run 4 out of 38. Hasn't been going well. Hasn't won since October last year. But has had some support in the money. 16 was another one. 6 of 41. Again, he's not running too bad. I'm not too confident on him. And the other one was 14, was it? Oh, 21, 18, 16. 21, 18. Okay. I'm not confident in any of these except for maybe this 21. Yeah, I think I'd stay away from the rest of them, but 21 is one that I'm okay with laying. It's run okay, but still, I don't think it's that great. I know it's 150, but number 1, I know it's got 7 of 33, but it's been in some much better races. The wide barrier shouldn't be an issue in a 1600 metre race. And given there's quite a few horses scratched, I know they've adjusted for that, so that's okay. I'm pretty much, gonna lane number 21, and I'll go out to about 500 on that. So that's race 6. Number 21, we'll go out to 500. Okay, let's have a bit of a look at race 7. Okay, looking at horses that can win here. 2 out of 14, he's a favourite. 3 out of 18. And 3 out of 18, okay. Looking at the ratings, there's a bit of a drop-off after the 80s. So you're kind of looking at these horses down here. I'm probably looking at these last 3 horses being 8, 18 and 12. Let's have a bit of a look at 8, 18 and 12 in the last race at Grafton. Okay, 8 is way up in the money here at 4.1. It's not one I'm going to have a look at. 8, 12 was the other one, again, just behind. 18 is probably the lowest there. 18 and 17 we should probably have a bit of a look at. They've got pretty poor jockeys, pretty poor trainers, so 18 and 17. Now 17's up here at a much better price of $19, and he's been favourites in the soft and run okay. These have been at shorter distances. What's this race? 1400. So he's won at the 1400, but he's up in class. Comment is worth including, so I'll stay away from 17, but 18 looked like a clear loser. 11 of 11. Odds are always out there. Has been running on the soft already, has tried this distance, not gone too well in both attempts, and facing a tough task today and didn't even get close last run. So 18, Grafton race 7, number 18. 7, number 18. What kind of odds am I looking at? He's already 101 on fixed. I'm just going to check where he was here. He's down below half. Yeah, 101 on that. On there, I'm kind of thinking he's also probably about a 300. Let me have a quick look at the horses that can win this. 2 of 14 is not great. It's better, but it's not great. 3 of 18, yeah. 3 of 18. They're running okay at this distance, at least those 2 starts. Okay, let's just check number 2. It's a bit of a worry that a horse that's only got 1 win out of 11 is one of the favourites, and has been favourites for most of his runs. But he's placing pretty close. Okay, I'll go out to about 300 on that one. Just format these. That gives us a fair few selections for the day. Looking at it, we've got quite a few there, so I'm probably going to leave it at that. Grafton kind of filled out enough here that we're taking a bit of a risk, but none of these are at any sort of odds that look too risky. These will all be lays, obviously. I'm not going to be backing them, and we'll just see where they end up. So pretty happy with how this has gone so far. I tend to like to take these high strike rate selections, and laying at long odds is definitely high strike rate. Okay, I'll leave it there, and I'll post a video with the